the news tonight, federal government calls on state government to establish livestock ministry across the state. Plus, humanitarian actor advocates for reforms on response to emergencies. Good evening, I am Huzaifa Mohammed with the bulletin. The National Council on Livestock Development has recommended all states of the Federation to establish ministries of livestock to complement government efforts at the center. The Council also appealed to subnational governments to have dedicated budget for transboundary animal diseases, pests, and zoonoses to address emerging animal diseases. Correspondent Yusuf Jika reported that this is part of the recommendation reached at the end of its maiden council held in Yola. The report.
Delegates at the first National Council on Livestock have deliberated and come up with some far-reaching recommendations of transforming the industry in subnationals to adopt National Livestock Growth Accelerated Strategy (NLGAS) to raise the country's GDP from $32 billion to $74 billion by 2035. The Council also encouraged states to adopt one health platform with legal instruments to address emerging zoonoses and establish a functional state desk office for youth and women initiative with 30 to 40% empowerment programs. It also identified strengthening of animal identification and traceability for improved disease surveillance, international trade and animal rustling, as well as promoting inter-community relations among farming and pastoral communities.
Every animal will have microchip in its body, and that no animal without a chip will be transported to anywhere, to any live animal market, livestock market. You'll be a suspect.
At councils like this, state commissioners or their representatives will be called up to give us updates on the memos they probably got approvals at the previous council meeting.
The second edition of the National Council on Livestock Development is billed for Lagos State in 2026. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NT News.
The federal government has taken a significant step to bridge gaps in accessing modern veterinary services and to align Nigeria's animal health standards with global best practices. This effort is underscored by the inauguration of a model veterinary hospital in Yola, spearheaded by the Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support (LPRES) project under the Federal Ministry of Livestock Development. According to officials, 20 states across the country are set to benefit from the services and innovations offered by the facility. Correspondent Yusuf Jika reports.
This gathering is more than just the inauguration of a building. It marks a significant milestone in the nation's commitment to transforming the livestock industry, promoting animal health, improving productivity, and enhancing disease surveillance. Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Mukhtar Meha, commended the Livestock Productivity and Resilience Support Project for championing the initiative. He said the project aligns with the federal government's agenda to develop a globally competitive, resilient, and sustainable livestock sector.
This ushers in a new phase and chapter in animal health service delivery vis-a-vis livestock development in Adamawa State and indeed in Nigeria. The administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu means business.
We look forward to better clinical services, better diagnosis, treatment and management of livestock diseases.
The National Coordinator of LPRES, Sanusi Abubakar, revealed that 20 states will benefit from the model veterinary hospital. He explained that the facility will operate at subsidized rate for livestock producers, extend the reach of veterinary services, and foster public-private collaboration in livestock health management.
We are opening doors to better disease control and early detection, reduce mortality in livestock, increase productivity, enhance food security, new employment and training opportunities for veterinary professionals.
The high point of the event was the unveiling of ambulatory veterinary services designed to provide on-the-spot care to livestock, including cattle and poultry, whenever needed, simply at the dial of a call. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NT News.
A humanitarian actor Johnson Trent has advocated for the reflection and reforming on ways of responding to emergencies for a better result. He made the advocacy when he led a delegation from United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs on a courtesy visit to the Deputy Governor. Correspondent Usman Mukhtar has details.
The global humanitarian system is facing a major setback due to political and other factors. The visit by the delegation from the United Nations Office for the Coordination of Humanitarian Affairs is to align priorities, improve coordination, and ensure that assistance reaches the real victims of disaster.
So we will need to reflect on how we work. We need to reform the way we work so that we have a better outcome then for people who are in need of assistance. So I'm confident that working with the government of Adamawa, working with our humanitarian partners, that we can turn this around so that with less money we can reach more people.
Deputy Governor Professor Kaletapa Farauta, who appreciates the visitors for their support to Adamawa, says the state government is committed to ensure transparency for sustainable impact for the people.
Every one of us, government and local partners, local NGOs, will mobilize funds. That is another thing I have taken from the speech. That we must all be on our feet to mobilize funds. Nobody will wait for funds to come. They are only the one to take the funds to the people affected. The funds might not be there. So now the funds have to come from among us. So we must mobilize funds from among us. That's a strong point I'm also taking from what he has said to me.
The engagement may not be unconnected with the gradual drop of humanitarian aids. In Yola, Usman Mukhtar, NTA News.
Deputy Governor Professor Kaletapa Farauta has called for intense prayers for God's protection during festive period. She made the call in her condolence message at the funeral service of Poavi Ijeoma Emmanuel in Lamurde, who died recently. Again, correspondent Usman Mukhtar reports.
Poavi Ijeoma Emmanuel, a grassroots politician, died in a ghastly motor accident last Saturday, 22nd November 2025. Deputy Governor Professor Kaletapa Farauta at the funeral service in Lamurde says she was shocked with the sudden death of Ijeoma. Professor Kaletapa Farauta consoled the brave family, Lamurde community, and the entire state over the loss, and prayed God to comfort the family and grant the departed soul eternal rest.
Furthermore, as a government and as a people, Ubangiji ya ziyarce mu ya ta'azantar da mu a lokacin nan. Ubangiji ya ta'azantar da iyali, ta'azantar da abokanai cikin siyasa, dangi, mutanen Lamurde da kuma state din nan gaba daya.
Most of the speakers described late Poavi Ijeoma Emmanuel as a grassroots politician with a genuine desire to uplift her community. Pastor Godwill Samuke, in a message, encouraged Christians to embrace patience in whatever situation they found themselves in.
Those that all believed in Ijeoma, they are devastated. They don't know where to start. But Jesus is saying, let your heart not be troubled.
Age 43, Poavi Ijeoma Emmanuel was widely known to be a devoted Christian, died last Saturday in a road crash and laid to rest in her ancestral home, Lamurde. In Yola, Usman Mukhtar, NTA News.
Well, viewer, that's it on Channel 8 News tonight. Stay tuned for the translation in Hausa and Fulfulde. Good night.
Jama'a barkanmu da kasancewa da ku, sunana Abdullahi Waziri daga nan sashen labaran NTA. Za kuma ku iya samun mu a shafinmu na YouTube wato at NTA Yola. Yanzu kam ga labaran cikin harshen Hausa. Majalisar kula da harkokin kiwo ta tarayyar Najeriya ta ba da shawarar duk jihohin tarayyar ƙasar nan da su kafa ma'aikatun kiwo domin yabawa ƙoƙarin gwamnati a cibiyar. Majalisar ta kuma yi kira ga gwamnatin tarayya da ta ware kasafin kuɗi domin kula da cututtuka na dabbobi masu wucewa da kwari-kwari don magance cututtukan dabbobi masu tasowa. Wakilinmu Yusuf Jika ya rawaito mana cewa wannan na daga cikin shawarin da aka cimma a ƙarshen taron majalisar da aka gudanar a jihar Adamawa. Taron wadda ta gudana da zimmar kawo ci gaba a faɗin kiwo a faɗin ƙasar nan. Taron wadda ta gudana da zimmar kawo ci gaba a fannin kiwo domin kula da cututtuka na dabbobi da kuma magance su, haɗi da samar da ingantaccen lafiyar dabbobi a faɗin tarayyar Najeriya. Gwamnatin tarayya ta ɗauki wani muhimmin mataki na ɗinke baraka wajen samun ayyukan kiwon lafiyar dabbobi na zamani da kuma samar da ingantaccen tsarin kiwon lafiyar dabbobi a Najeriya tare da ingantaccen ayyuka a duniya. Wannan kudirin wadda ta zamo domin samar da cibiyar kiwon lafiyar dabbobi a Yola don tabbatar da ingantaccen tsarin kiwon lafiyar dabbobi, wadda gwamnatin tarayya ta dade ta bada goyon baya don cimma wannan lamarin. Jihohi guda 20 a fadin tarayyar Najeriya sun ci gajiyar wannan tsari da gwamnatin tarayya ta bullo da shi a fadin kasar nan baki daya. Wani dan kungiyar jin kai Johnson Trent ya bada shawarar yin tunani da sake fasalin hanyoyin da za a bi don magance matsalolin gaggawa don kyakkyawan sakamako. Ya bayyana haka ne a yayin da ya jagoranci tawagar kungiyar haɗin kan turai wato UN a ziyarar da suka kai wa mataimakiyar gwamna a ofishinta. Wakilinmu Usman Muktar ya rawaito mana cewa akasarin ababen da aka fuskanta musamman a harkokin siyasa da sauran wasu harkokin gaba daya, da wannan ne kungiyar haɗin kan turai wato UN ƙarƙashin kungiyar jin kai ta shigo lamarin don magance matsalolin gaggawa da kuma sakamako mai kyau. Mataimakiyar gwamna Farfesa Kalita Farauta wadda ta yi murna da ziyarar da suka kai tare da cewar gwamnatin jihar Adamawa za ta bayar da goyon baya ta musamman don ganin an cimma dukkan nasarori gaba daya a faɗin wannan jiha da ma ƙasar nan baki daya. Mataimakiyar gwamna Farfesa Kalita Farauta ta yi kira da a yawaita addu'o'in neman kariya ga Allah a dukkan lokuta. Ta yi wannan kira ne a yayin da ake gabatar da jana'izar marigayiya Poavi Ijoma Emmanuel wadda ta rasu kwanan nan a karamar hukumar Lamurde a jihar Adamawa. Wakilinmu Usman Muktar ya rawaito mana cewa Poavi Emmanuel wadda daya daga cikin 'yan siyasan ne a wannan karamar hukumar, wadda ta rasu sakamakon hatsari da ta faru da ita a ranar 22 ga watan Nuwamban wannan shekara ta 2025. Mataimakiyar gwamna Farfesa Kalita Farauta a yayin jana'izar a karamar hukumar Lamurde ta ce ta kasance cikin alhini da jin rasuwar wannan mata. Kalita Farauta ta mika ta'aziyarta ga daukacin al'ummar da ke a karamar hukumar Lamurde da kuma 'yan uwan marigayiyar da cewar Allah ya jikanta ya yafe mata. Duka anan muka zo ga ƙarshen labaran namu daga nan sashen labarin NTA. Kamar yadda na faɗa a farko, za a iya samun mu a shafinmu na YouTube wato at NTA Yola. A madadin editan labaran namu Abubakar Hamman, sai wadda ya sada ni da ku Abdulaziz Usman Barkono, ni Abdullahi Waziri da na fassara na karanto da ke ce muku mu kwana lafiya.
madalla derɗiraɓe assalamu aleykum barkamen irtuki jam barkamen ɗo fotta wakkati dami waddanton habaruji ɗi jemmare hannde. Gomnati mofgal lesdi hosi jabruɗe kanɗe gam tabbatunki waddi ɓillaji yaynete ha bangere wato dabbaji hedi wadduki sibitiji dabbaji majum ɗum jamanu hawtade be nanta hawtuki hoore be nanta gam ɓosinki kuuɗe jamu dabbaji wato no yarata be luttuɗe lesɗe duniyaru. Tinare en bo bana wibo wakilijo amin Yusuf Jikan ni wato waɗama on wakkati nde hunnino wato nde jo'inno wato sibiti dabbaji majum ɗum ɗola ngam lartuki yake wato durgol dabbaji hawtade be nanta ɓosinki kuuɗe jamu dabbaji majum ɗum bo wato kuuɗe jamu wato durgol dabbaji be nanta kol bawal ɓawo ɗum ko larani kuuɗe dabbaji wato elpress les taskaram les wato hukuma dabbaji jawol yeeso durgol dabbaji lesdi ndi waɗi bana wigo jami'en majum ni wato jihaji no gas on nder lesdi Nigeria jotta taskita heɓugo bote taskaram kuuɗe majum ngam wato ɓamtuki kuuɗe durgol dabbaji ha lesdi ndi ɗum bo ɓosinta kuuɗe durgol majum bana luttuɗe lesɗe duniyaru dogginte. Nder gorka feere ha fahin majalisa durgol jahol yeeso durgol dabbaji lesdi ndi ni wato holli dow jihaji no foti ha nder lesdi ndi hani tiggine ɗum hukuma wato durgol dabbaji gam yabranki tinaje gomnati do ko larani bangere majum. Majalisa majum wato ɗaɓɓori non on fago gomnatiji jihaji ɓedda tinaje takanasma ha do ko larani hisabuji ceede do ko larani ɓillaji hakkude nyaw dabbaji hakkude lesɗe gam wotuki ɓilla majum hawtade be nanta luttuɗi kowe e ko nandi non majum fu ngam hoytunki nyaw dabbaji. Wakilijo amin Yusuf Jika hokki habaru ɗo majum bo ɗo nder wato sawre ko hokka haragare gidal majalisa majum ɗum doggina arandere ha yola ɗum bo nanaɓe no foti ha moftorde majum holli woto himmiɗinare masin hakkunogo yake jawol yeeso durgol dabbaji hawtade be nanta wawtuki ɓillaji nyaw dabbaji majum. Goɗɗo feere lattiɗo hokko wallinde mako takanasma ɗo ummatore Johnson Tron wangini yidde lorki firlita ɗatte ɗum wanginta wato tabitinta o sinki jahol yeeso ha ummatore o holli non majum on wakkati nde o ardino agal huɓɓirde kawtal hoore lesɗe duniyaru dow harkaji kuuɗe wallutuki ummatore nde ɓe waddino gilla faago ballo gomnaji hakka professeur Kaleta Bwa Farauta. Wakilijo amin Usman Mukhtar hokki habaru dow laruki jottani lesɗe duniyaru ɗon yiida be ɓillaji dow ko larani siyasa e luttuɗum ko nandi non majum waɗi agal koɓɓirle kawtal hoore duniyaru majum dow harkaji hakkilinki ummatore holli hakkilo ngam wato ɓamtuki hokkiki wallinde yotta ko hattoy fu ballo gomnaji haka professeur Kaleta Bwa Farauta holli yettore mako masin be bawal ɓawo maɓɓe majum fago jiha Adamawa ɗum bo holli dow gomnati jiha ka ɗon taskiti tabbatunki gongaku hawtade be nanta howonki ummatore jiha ka kuuɗe jahol yeeso ngam buturki ummatore jiha ka majum. Ballo gomna jiha ka professeur Kaleta Bwa Farauta wato wonitiri tokkugo waɗa do'aji ngam jawmirawo renta ummatore takanasma wakkati jotta larugo wakkati on ɗum lame o waɗi ɗo nandu ndu on han wato komgol fofo ɗum o doggi o waɗi ɗum ha wakkati nde kuuɗe uki poivi ijoma Emmanuel o maynaɗo mo uwa ha lamorde maynaɗo balɗe ɗo. Wakilijo amin Usman Mukhtar hokki habaru ɗo poivi ijoma Emmanuel ni lattiɗo ɓi siyasa on daga wato o maynama ha hasaru mota yende asawe saliɗɗo ɗum bo ballo gomna professeur Kaleta Bwa Farauta ha kuuɗe uki mako majum ni ha lamorde o holli dow hultiri masin ɓe nanta fofo wato ijoma majum ngam majum o sinkani iyalo maynaɗo on nden bo o ɗaɓɓori ummatoreji hakka no foti tokka waɗugo du'aji ngam ɗaɓɓutukirentu e jawmirawo nden o ɗoɗi jawmirawo hokku iyalo maynaɗo ɗon bo muñal be ɓastande ka waɗa wolwiɓe ha moftorde majum no foti tindini favi joma Emmanuel ni do wato goɗɗo gonga on darani ɗo kuuɗe mako pastor Godwin Samuke nder wato nasiya o waɗi ha moftorde majum ni o sembiɗini terɗe masinki en dow konde tokka waɗugo muñal be kala wato no ɓe tawri ko'e maɓɓe fuu maynaɗo majum marɗo duuɓi 43 o andirama be nanta kugal doginki wato hakkilinki kuuɗe dina mako nden bo o maynama on ha ɗo wato hatsaru mota ɓoyma bo o uwama ha lamorde ɗi latti kerol habaruji ɗi min wawata waddugo bana jemmare hande jawmirawo hokku en walugo jam.